Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, let's talk Joseph Parker. We roll with Joe. Y'all know what time it is. Joseph Parker's got a fight on October the 25th versus Fabio Wardley, the number one contender in the WBA, that sanctioned body. And, it's going to be a pretty big fight. On the same night, it was another big fight was about to happen. I think it was the Keith Thurman versus Fundura fight, which got canceled. So now they're going to be the main kind of fight of that night, right? It's a good fight, right? Y'all know that I'm a little bit upset. You know what I'm saying? I'm still kind of upset that Justice Huni, right? What was it? Justice Huni, or Huni, right? Who Fabio Wardley knocked out in round 10. I'm a little bit, bitter, salty with that because I just think Hunis did such a good job that either he should have a rematch or they should let him get up and at least try to see if he can finish round 10. Then I'll be happy. Like, for example, you've let him finish, and then Fabio hits him and he doesn't finish the round, knock him down another time or two or whatever. I just think he should have been able to try to finish that fight. Reason I'm saying that, and I'm gonna keep saying it, is because he dominated. He wasn't barely winning. He dominated. And I don't like to see somebody dominate. Somebody hits him with a shot because it's a boxing match. In 10 rounds, you're gonna get clocked a time or two. Went down but got up. Yeah, I'm wobbly, but see if you can finish me. If not, then you got a 10-8 round or a 10-7 round. You would have still won. So I'm a little bitter, but whatever. I don't want to rant about that. Anyway, because when you look at it from the perspective of Fabio Wardley, hey, you took a lot of blows, you showed resilience, you came at the end, and you didn't give up to the very end of the fight, all that old whatever, yada, yada, yada. Cool. But every fighter's out there, and can do that. But to be dominated by another fighter means that other fighter's pretty damn good then. You know what I mean? And nobody's talking about justice no more. So this is basically a justice for justice. You know what I mean? But whatever. Don't let me start talking about it. I keep ranting on that. We're talking about Joseph Parker here versus Fabio Wardley. Bottom line is this. They're about to throw down. Now, Joseph Parker, it's some things, I'm about to get upset again. Joseph Parker says, he's got to concentrate on this fight because winning this fight will give him the shot against Usyk or Moses Itama, the young heavyweight that everybody's talking about, right? And I'm like, you don't need this fight for that. Joseph Parker deserves the shot at Usyk now. Or Utama, where everybody else ain't trying to fight, he can now without fighting Fabio Wardley. That's my only problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Joseph Parker, first of all, Deontay Wilder, my boy, get up out of here. Sheila Shane, Chinese Power, get up out of here. Martin Bakoli, the boogeyman, get up out of here. Yeah, it's your fault you running around at 300 pounds just because you ain't fighting. You know what I'm saying? You're a fighter. If you 30, 40, 50 pounds heavier than in the fight, damn it, well, you ain't living the life. So you steal Martin Bakoli, and he knocked him out. So at the end of the day, Joseph Parker deserves a fight, period, with Usyk, right? But if Usyk wants to do something. But Usyk's a legend. He can do what the hell he want to do. I'm going to be real with that. Once he, but he should go and give up the belts and let all these other dudes fight for him or whatever and let somebody crystallize themselves as worthy to fight him because Usyk has to handle his business. But Joseph Parker deserves a fight against Usyk and is so awesome and confident that, I want to fight Fabio Wardley and then get up in here in 2 or 3 months if I come out unscathed and fight Itama, which everybody ain't trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Somebody still wanted to fight him. I think Frank Sanchez would have fought him, but Itama didn't want to do that, which is the first time you hear that, but they want to keep him away from Frank Sanchez for some reason. But anyway, at the end of the day is this. Your boy Joseph Parker said something that I thought was pretty cool, but I'm biased. We roll with Joe here, but I'm just going to say, he was interviewed and he's like this, this is boxing, and it's levels to this. It's levels to this. I thought that was pretty much cool, because it is. It's levels to the game, and Joseph Parker's one of the top guys, and he's been He rolling with Joe for nothing. You know, Joe was, like I said, you know, he's been one of the better guys for a long time, you know, for a long time. He's just proven it. He's 33 now. He's been one of the best since he's been about 24, right? And he's still fighting on a high level. He's got confidence, and he don't got the time to be playing around. That's why he's like, if I can get past Fabio Wardley, it's going to be a lot of speed, power, and drama. That's what he said. And I get rid of him, then I'm trying to go get, after this drama, I'm trying to get Itama. That's what he's trying to do, which is, you know, why we roll with Joe. If he can do that, then whatever. Now, the Usyk thing, we'll talk about that another day, because Usyk, like I said, you know, who knows what Usyk's going to do. Now he's got a back injury. He's out for a while. He's done a lot of stuff, man. But we know when we talk about Usyk, we're talking about somebody who goes to your backyard and beats you, became undisputed at cruiserweight, and undisputed at heavyweight, beating people with an average weight of 20, 25 pounds heavier than him, and dismantling all of these people who we were talking about was supposed to be the most awesome people we've seen. If it's Anthony Joshua and if it's Tyson Fury. Do you remember the accolades and all the stuff we was talking, you know, the stuff we was saying it was? I don't want to say we because I'm not French, but people were saying Tyson Fury was better than Ali. He's 6'9", 270 pounds and got beat by this little old dude. Back off. And he ain't that damn good. Usyk is on Ali's level, if anybody, but it ain't Tyson Fury. That's proven now. So back off of that. Anthony Joshua, whatever, good, but you know, you get knocked out all the time and then you get outboxed by this dude. So let's put it in perspective. These guys are pretty good, right? But all-time greats, we don't have one right now in this, in the present, if it ain't Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk is going to go down as all-time great, 2-division undisputed. Everybody else is pretty damn good and stuff like that, but we leave it there. There's distance. Or like Joe says, there's levels to this. So let's see if Joe can prove that there's levels to this to Fabio Wardley, which I got Joe. Matter of fact, by stoppage here. Even though Wardley takes a wallop now. But I got Joe by stoppage. And what I mean by stoppage is like the corner saying, you know, he's getting outboxed too much and he's getting hit with shots. He's trying to stay up and get that lucky punch again. But we want him to not become a Joe Joyce up in here and just take punches, right? And then I think they'll stop it. And then, you know, Fabio Wardley will go down back to the level of where he can fight. But I don't think he's championship level. But hey, prove me wrong here. Joseph Parker's championship level. I don't think Fabio Wardley is. But if he shows me something, then whatever. You know what I mean? But that Justice Hunis fight is still in there. And I've seen him be outboxed by a guy that no one is talking about. So if you can get outboxed by a guy that no one is talking about, then we shouldn't be talking about you in the upper echelon of the heavyweight division. Y'all following that? Anyway, back to the point. We roll with Joe. There's levels to this. So I'm going to bring speed, power, and drama, and then I'm going to get Itama. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm out of here, y'all.